Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning, and thank you for allowing me to speak today to the San Francisco Buddhist Church Sangha to observe your annual LGBTQ plus service. I feel it is an honor as San Francisco Pride celebrates 50 years, but with coronavirus pandemic, you are stuck with me today. But I hope I can shed some light on what a family may go through when going through the process of acceptance of an LGBTQ family member. As I come here today to share my story with you, I cannot tell you how immensely proud I am of my 3 children and the people that they have become. They have taught me so much about love and acceptance, for I am a mother of a lesbian daughter, transgender son, and a cisgender daughter. As the kids grew up, I did not feel that our family was any different from any other Japanese American family. Well, maybe, with the exception that my husband and their father is a Buddhist minister. Like most families, the kids grew up participating in community events, playing sports, attending temple, and being involved in the various temple activities. Life seemed to be going according to how I envisioned it. My oldest child, Amy, had graduated from college and was working. My second child, Norio, was just finishing up college and looking for employment. And my youngest child, Michelle, was about to enter college. I begin my story with Norio. He was assigned female at birth, and even though for the first 25 years of his life he was seen as female, I have come to see him as my son. So as I talk about Norio's life, just know that I'm using his male name, even though he may have been seen as female during those years. And I do this to honor who my son has always been. The journey began in 2009, just before the Christmas holiday. Norio came over to the house and came out as lesbian. Norio explained that he'd planned to spend the holiday with his partner and her family. Although a bit shocked, we told him that we loved him and gave him a big hug to reassure him. But after he left, both my husband and I looked at one another and said, "We didn't see that coming." But it seemed to explain something to me. While Norio attended college, he became distant from the family, and he would only come around during the holidays. And even after graduating, when he returned to the Bay Area, and had only lived about 20 minutes away from us, he seldom dropped by or allowed us to visit. That feeling of not understanding his distance left a big hole in my heart, and feeling sad, as I really did not know what was going on. But that slowly changed as Norio revealed his true feelings about his gender identity. At the beginning, I really struggled internally about Norio's coming out as lesbian. I did not want anyone to know, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it was embarrassment or shame, as I did not know anyone in my Japanese Buddhist community who had a lesbian child. Or maybe it was being fearful of being judged since my husband was a minister. As Buddhists, we are taught how hard it is to accept to see things as they really are because of our attachments. But I soon realized that I needed to let go of my biases of who Norio should be and let Norio be Norio or risk losing him again. Within time, I came to terms with Norio being a lesbian and was willing to tell some family members and close friends of Norio's coming out. I was so fortunate to have such supportive and understanding family members and friends. These were the people I talked to when I was feeling most vulnerable. With the passage of time, the one thing I did notice was the change of the way he dressed. Norio was always a t-shirts and pants person, but now it seemed that he had a tendency to dress more masculine. We received his mail at our house, and we began to notice mail addressed to Norio Umezu. When he came over, I casually said, "I noticed that you're using your Japanese name." I asked him to inform the companies to please spell Noriko correctly. Norio explained that he was experimenting with names and wanted to go by the name Norio. I explained that it was a male's name. The response was, "I know." At that point, I asked, "Are you trying to tell us something?" Norio then explained how he felt male and wanted to live his life as a man. Although in shock, we both told Norio that we loved him, but honestly, we did not understand. Norio later explained he had always felt this way. I wondered, how did I not see this? I said, for prom, you wanted to wear the most girly dress, and for graduation, you wanted boa feathers around your neck. He said it was to fit in. I was struggling to process everything and felt very confused. My husband told Norio, "I know you see yourself one way. Mommy and Daddy see you another way. But it is going to take us some time to see you the way you want to be seen. Please give us some time." Norio said that was a fair request. To be honest, it took a long while. Initially, since Norio did not live with us, I just buried my head in the sand and did not want to deal with it. I felt as if I had lost my child. Who was this person? Why didn't I see this? Does he know the hardships he's going to have to endure? So many questions and thoughts swirling around in my head. Norio could see my struggle and offered resource materials, counselors' names, and even suggested I watch a video of a woman named Marsha Izumi on Facebook. Norio said, "She's a mom just like you, and I think to listen to her will help you." So I did watch the video. As I listened to Marsha's words, I could relate to all the things that she was saying. And to boot, she was Japanese. And for some reason, I think within our culture, talking about LGBTQ things or things that are sort of not within the norm is a very difficult thing. But what I eventually discovered, that meeting other parents who were going through similar experiences as we were, and being able to talk about those experiences really helped me to feel that I was not alone. And it really helped me to come to truly accept my children as they really are. One of the hardest things for me initially was to use the pronoun he when referring to Norio. Even today, I slip back from time to time and refer to Norio as she. Thank goodness my daughters, along with my niece, nephew, and others remind me to use the correct pronoun. I have to apologize to Norio and remind him that I'm really trying. I know that it seems that I have dwelled on Norio's coming out, and I have, because it was much more difficult for me to come to terms with him being transgender. But for a few years after Norio came out as lesbian, my daughter Amy came out also. She revealed she was in a lesbian relationship. I was surprised how natural and accepting I was of her coming out. But I know my feelings of embarrassment or not wanting others to know would have surfaced if I had not gone through the experience with Norio first. It has been approximately over 10 years since I began this journey into the LGBTQ issues I faced. Only recently have I become comfortable enough to share my story. I feel that I can see my children as they really are and happy to see that they are living their authentic selves. It is equally comforting to know that they are surrounded by such loving and supportive people. Norio was married in 2014 to Liz. Amy married Marie in 2018. Both of them were surrounded by family, grandparents, and friends who witnessed their declaration of love to one another. My children seem happy, and what more could a parent want for their children? And in October 2019, my husband and I became first-time grandparents as Norio and I had their first child, Madi. Life is good, but it seemed that it took me a bit of time to get here. As I walked down this path, I started, as I stated before, what helped the most was talking to other parents who were either going through the same experience or who had already gone through the experience, and they were all Asian in ethnicity. Even though these were people from different faiths, it was through sharing their stories that I realized that I was not alone and the feelings I was experiencing were not uncommon. It helped me to work through my issues and come to accept and to see my children as their true selves. When I reflect upon this journey, I came to realize that there are two coming outs. One for the person who most courageously must open up themselves to family and friends to know who they really are, and the other for the parents and families and learning not only to deal with their child's coming out, but to let others know. How does one do that? For some, it is easy, and for others, not so easy. It takes a great deal of courage for both to open up themselves to others, as one does not know what the reaction will be. A person once asked me, "What should I do if someone comes out to me?" I said, "Please acknowledge that you heard the person." Too often, when someone comes out and there's no acknowledgement or just silence, it's usually interpreted as a negative sign. The person who has come out may feel that he may have lost a friend, or they may made to feel that they were not seen or heard. Even if you might feel uncomfortable or do not totally understand what was said, please acknowledge to the person that you heard them and thanking them for sharing with you, as you know that it took a lot of courage for them to do so. Providing acceptance and support makes such a big difference in a person's life. As for me, what really prompted me to start sharing my story was my daughter, Amy, and some nudging from a friend, Marcia Izumi, who believes sharing one story can help another parent. Amy had once expressed to me that she could not believe that she was the only Buddhist lesbian in BCA, and actually knew she was not. I had heard that there were LGBTQ individuals who grew up in the temple, but for one reason or another did not feel comfortable or supported and had left the temple. That news made me very sad, as these former Sangha members no longer had the opportunity to hear the teachings of Shinran at temple or enjoy the camaraderie of the Sangha. Amy and I had hoped that by sharing my story, not only that it would help other BCA parents who might be struggling through something similar know that they are not alone and that everything will be okay. Another goal was to raise awareness to the Sangha who may be in a position to support these parents and individuals. As it turns out, I have, since speaking at a few events, I have encountered other parents within the BCA who have a lesbian, gay, or transgender child. And to be honest, my husband and I were absolutely thrilled when we met another parent within our Sangha who had a transgender child. It brought much comfort to know we were not alone and had another family that we could share our thoughts. And isn't that what part of what Pride is all about today? Showing LGBTQ people that they are not alone in their struggles and celebrating the relationships that they have that have helped them endure hardship. As we observe Pride, I think our Sangha needs to sincerely ask ourselves if we are doing enough to show people that we are not alone, to show them they have a community or Sangha where they feel they can belong. And I'm not only talking about LGBTQ people, but also people of different races, ethnicities, people with mental health issues, people with learning disabilities, and anyone else who may feel like an outsider. Our Sanghas can be places of support and acceptance for them too, much like our founders of our temples, our Japanese American parents and grandparents, when they endured the hardships of internship and hardships of internment and beyond. I don't have the answers for how we do this, but I know that if we each do what we can with true and trusting hearts in the wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha, we can do better. And I know that starts with me. Thank you for listening. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.